Hey guys, it's Christian from Lost in Discovery and welcome back to the channel. Today we are talking about the Stormlight archive. We are finally getting back to where it all started on this channel with the Way of Kings and the incredible series known as the Stormlight archive. Man, it has been a while, and look, I apologize that it's been so long. Without me talking about Stormlight, without me doing anything Stormlight related, I'll let you know it's not for a lack of trying. And I kind of wanted to talk to you about that today because I feel like some context is important, and I feel like it's somewhat interesting before I jump back into this world and start covering it again. I first began this series in 2017. I was moving abroad and I wanted a big brick tome of a book with me to keep me company and to give me something to do, and it was a lot. This book is a lot, this world is a lot, and as you can imagine, reading this as your first book for the first time in a long time without reading can be intimidating, and it's easy to kind of let it fall by the wayside one day here and there, not reading it, and before you know it, it's sitting on your shelf gathering dust, and you thought, yeah, one day I'll get back to that, but a real life has taken over. Eventually though, around 2019, I kind of, I had spied it on the shelf for long enough and it was time to pick it up again. And from there on, there was no stopping me. I was all the way in and I ripped through this series in a matter of months. We were only in 3 books at that point, and the hype for Rhythm of War was only just bubbling at the surface, really. It was amazing. I, like any other fan of any other series, at least people like us, we go online and we look for discussions and videos and content, because it's kind of hard to find people who have read these books in person. There seems to be no difficulty online, but in person it's kind of tricky. Booktube was very different back then. There was a lot less people and it was a lot lower quality, and it was even more wholesome than now, if you can believe that. Booktube is still an amazing place to be. Basically what I'm trying to say is there wasn't much about Stormlight, and I was like chomping at the bit to talk about this. I was so excited, I was so enthusiastic, and I had a camera and I knew how to edit video, and I thought, well, maybe I should talk about it. Maybe I should do this, why not? So I did, and so began Lost in Discovery, and I loved every minute of those early days. I was so new to this world, I was so new to the cosmere. Every video I made explaining things, I was discovering for the first time, and I wanted to share it, and I was super enthused about it, and I was, wink wink, lost in discovery, so to speak. And that's what made it so damn enjoyable. And I got to a point where, I'd built my channel off this series, and I was starting to expand my reading taste a bit. I was reading different authors, different mediums, and I wanted to make videos on those too. And I still do want to make videos on those things, but the Stormlight videos I felt obligated to do, and it wasn't a passion anymore. It was just, well, to keep my numbers up and to keep expectations as they are, I should continue to make Stormlight videos. And this novel and this series that had such a special place in my heart, and that really spoke to me, and that still to this day is my favorite series, these kind of became textbooks, and the Copper Mind became my research center, where I would go on and search for terms and think, that could be a video, or that could be a video, what about this chapter, is that a video? And that's not what this is about, is it? It's about actually being enthusiastic, it's about being genuine, and it's about actually really wanting to connect with other people who love this series, and not to do it in a way to farm for views, or it just didn't feel right. I have started so many series on the channel about Stormlight that have gone unfinished, and every time I see them, as proud as I am of those initial videos, I feel super embarrassed that I wasn't able to continue them through. But it is simply due to the fact that I forced myself to kind of do it because it's what I thought that I should be doing, and I needed some time away. And with that time away, it's kind of been like 2017 again, and those years and months are passing where the Stormlight books are on the shelf, and I'm like, oh yes, one day I will return, and the day has come. And I have begun rereading the first book, and it has been a magical experience. I'm loving it so much. And from this renewed enthusiasm and love and joy and just being pumped about it will come videos, I'm hoping, and I really do think it will be fine. I did make the mistake. This will give you a clue into how terrible I am with this. I started rereading in January, and I tried to booktubify it once more. I made a reading schedule. Which day would I read which chapter, and which day would I film a video? This is a massive mistake. Maybe some people can operate that way, but I can't. It sucked the fun out of it, basically, and it made it a job. I was planning to do a full guide to the Way of Kings, an awesome reread, awesome new introduction for new readers. I wanted to get new people into it too, and I still do want to do that. I just need to get back in that world. I need to feel the passion and the groove again, and it's happening. It's happening, and it's fan-freaking-tastic. When I posted that I was making this video, a lot of people were saying they've been rereading it too, and I'm curious to hear about your experiences, because there's just something so cozy about this book. The Way of Kings, man, it's the book that got me back into reading. Like, a good chunk of it is just kind of hanging around with a few characters with not too much going on, and somehow I am glued to these pages, and I'm glued to the story of Kaladin, Shallan, Dalinar, Adolin, and I'm kind of getting, this sounds ridiculous, but I'm kind of getting nostalgic for that time where I knew less about the Cosmere. I personally have been kind of overwhelmed with how quickly the Cosmere is growing, and it feels like an ever-growing task that I, as a person who makes videos about it, should be on top of, which I think has also slowed me down too. And I've just been kind of enjoying forgetting all that and just enjoying the bloody book. Is it that hard? I think this kind of feels ridiculous that I'm talking for this long about, hey, I just needed to read a book, and maybe I needed some time away from it before I did it again. And with that, I encourage you to check out your shelf. What is that series that has a special place in your heart that's been sitting up there, and maybe you miss it, and maybe it's time to go around again, because I can tell you this experience has been freaking powerful. It's weird. It's like when you smell something and you get taken back to that place that you were in, and those smells can kind of jump out at you at times when you least expect it. Certain sentences, certain phrases, certain chapter titles, the emotions or the senses that Sanderson evokes in certain areas, being back at the Shattered Plains, being back in Kharbranth, and hearing these voices in my head again as I read, not when I'm not reading, just so you don't worry, has been really powerful. And it's been transporting me back to those whimsical days where I knew nothing of BookTube and the greater content world, and I was just hanging out with some fantasy people. It's really good. I just wanted to tell you I'm rereading Stormlight. Join along if you would like, because I'm going to be talking about it a lot more. Yeah, that's basically it. Thank you for being here, and I hope you enjoyed this more chill, cozy insight into what's happening with my reading life. I hope you've all been well, and I'll see you hopefully with a new Stormlight video pretty soon. Bye.